Welcome to the HNR show, where we bring you the latest and greatest to keep you in the know. I'm Rudy, I'm here with Nick and Han, and today is Fitness Friday. Today, my main topic is going to be health is wealth. And I have an interesting story to add up to this topic, and that relates Steve Jobs. We know Steve Jobs invented the revolutionary iPhone, and he himself said he didn't want it to be the richest man in the graveyard, yet he was. So we all have ambitions, we all have goals, we all have dreams, and we all want to make it. But what's the point of having all the money in the world, all the fame, all the status, all the women, all the cars, all the whatever, but you don't have the vehicle to make you function properly and enjoy what you have and be able to live longer and teach your kids, your grandkids, your peers, and deliver on that knowledge. So, what is health is wealth to you guys? What in your daily life, in your daily routines, let's say, how does this apply to you? What do you guys do to make health a priority?
If I may start, this is a topic that holds dear to me because in my eyes, like the problem of today, like a lot of these self-help and gurus, whatever, they always talk about level up your game. But what is leveling up your game? Yeah, well, leveling up your finances, leveling up things that will give you more problems, like making more money, always concentrating, leveling up your game. You make more money and then you'll be happy. You make more money. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it can sure makes you feel better. You know, all this crazy stuff. But people don't understand, like, you need to level up the content of your character.
Amen.
That is the most important thing you need to do. Like, Andrew Tate once said, like, something really that, like, that I hold dear, because he said, like, money, like, a man can make money, but money cannot make a man.
That's true.
That's facts.
So
That's
you need to build yourself up first. You got to be a G. And you make money, you become a top G.
It's true. I could agree. Have you guys heard of Aiden Ross? He's like the biggest popular streamer on Twitch.
Yeah.
And he had times he was chilling with Andrew Tate before he went to jail. And don't get me wrong, Aiden Ross has bread. He has money. Mm-hmm. But Andrew Tate was so like dissing him, like belittling him as a man, knowing that this guy has status regardless, because the way he presents himself, he's like sorry, Aiden, like a dork.
A cuck bitch.
That's his words. So, like,
I'll fight you, Aiden.
Like, the guy has money, but in terms of, like he said, content of character, he lacks it in terms of masculinity. And this is where, like, Andrew Tate was like, I'm going to give you that tough love. I'm going to be the big brother you never had and make you uncomfortable for you to become the man that I want you to become. So, he's right. No matter how much money you got, if the content of your character is not as solid, your money's for no reason. You'll be one of these old men in their 60s trying to get those little 18-year-old sugar babies. Like, I have no one to look at me, so I'll pay you to give me attention. Like, is this where you want to get to the point?
Sugar daddy is a cancer, and sugar baby is
a tumor.
it's the tumor. Yeah. You got it. Because this is like cancerous in society. Like that whole. They're just making it sound better than it is. Basically, it's a prostitute and a guy paying for a prostitute. That's all it is. It's like sugar baby, sugar daddy. This is just a man paying for a prostitute. I don't know why they make it sound like all sweet and kosher and stuff like that. This is haram. This should be illegal. Like, I don't know what the heck is going on. Like I can't believe we live in a world where there's a site where you could be a sugar daddy and a sugar baby.
That's true.
This is what the heck is this? Like they should FBI and raid every single one that's on that site, the men and the women. This is pure prostitution. That's what it is.
Well, why would somebody want to be a sugar daddy? Let's go back to fitness builds character. Because we can all agree that for a man, as Socrates once says, it's a shame.
Wait, Socrates, you mean, or Socrates?
Socrates, sorry.
Okay. Because I was like, oh.
Sorry, my French is kicking in here.
Because I heard Socrates.
Socrates. I was like, who the heck is Socrates?
I was like, what? You want crepes?
Okay, Socrates. Okay.
Let's go back to the topic. So as we can say, fitness does build character, and as Socrates once said, it's a shame for a man to grow old without realizing what his physical body is able to
True.
do.
True.
So we can all agree that at some point, any man, and the early the better, obviously, to work on his physique, to push himself beyond his limits mentally and physically, and to understand the body that he has, what is it capable of, where can you take it to. And in my opinion, this literally takes you from a boy to a man.
Mm-hmm.
You can grow to 50, 60 years old, and if you've never taken your body to its limits, you still don't really know who you are. Some people might not agree with me. If you're a scholar, if you're a great thinker, if you're a writer, you've brought a lot of great ideas to the world. You probably never got to the limits of your body, but you still did great to the world in a sense. So there could be a multitude of opinions here, but I still believe it's something very important. So coming back to sugar daddies. Do you think they might lack some sort of fitness in their life that makes...
course.
Of course.
I would say no. Not all of them.
Okay.
To give it like a general answer like that, I would say no, because there is some that they look like sugar daddy vibes.
Right.
They're fit, like salt, pepper type of guy. Like I've met some of my customers where I work. You look at them, sugar daddy vibes, literally. And they're fit, they're tall. They're literally what people are looking for, but they're the sugar daddies. They reach an age where they're like, man, I have so much options. Probably I didn't do what I was supposed to do as a man. So like find the wife, have the kids and everything. Some of them just want to live like, well, what's his name? Frick.
But fitness is not just physical, like mental fitness. They
Yeah,
don't-
but not people. No one focuses on mental fitness. To be fair, like how we see social media, it's nothing mental. It's like look at my body, and you know when they put those captions, just waiting for you. It's all thirst trapping. So most of the most of the health that we're talking about, I wish people can talk about health. Like Joey Swole. Joey Swole, he's the perfect example. He's gonna be like, stop like bashing people at the gym when you're recording. You do not own the gym. It's a public space for everyone to work out, because the whole point of it is to become healthier within ourselves.
But he's a good example.
He's a perfect example.
But we need to talk about the bad example, the sugar daddy. How are they like? What is their MO, the mode of operation?
The question is why?
That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to ask.
what-
Like he said, he knows a sugar daddy.
I don't know him.
No, but you think he is, whatever, or allegedly.
Yeah.
But
I like that word.
allegedly. But the thing is, like, I have a real experience with a sugar daddy. I dated a girl who had a sugar daddy.
Damn.
Yeah.
You sure you were not the sugar daddy?
No. But
You told me that story. Yeah. It's interesting.
You know, I don't know if this is a good day to tell it, but my experience was like basically I felt disgusted. You know?
Why?
She's getting paid, but she's not giving me anything in return. I'm smashing, but I still feel disgusted. I feel like my girl is like
Being a
she's
commodity in a way.
yeah. No, I felt like she was cheap. There's a price to her. So anyone who can pay the price can take her from me. You know,
Okay.
maybe he didn't pay the price high enough to take her completely from me, but he paid enough that to take a part of her from me. So when I met a girl like that, I was like, nah, man, we done. We
Right.
done. You know?
I had one example. Sorry to cut you off. One sugar daddy that he's not a sugar daddy, but I think he might become one eventually. And I think you know him. Both of you know him. Dan Bilzerian.
Oh yeah, I've heard about this guy.
Okay, but this guy,
Yeah.
he's a poker player. This guy is living the lavish life, single life player. He's a playboy.
Yeah,
All the women
he's
and
really into
everything.
that
But
materialistic.
that's the thing. So eventually, this guy, he's fit.
Yeah.
He's fit. He's the guy's he's living his
Yeah,
best life.
yeah.
But eventually, knowing that he's gonna reach an age where he's gonna be so-called a leftover, obviously the only ones who's gonna focus on him are the ones who are hungry for some money. So he's gonna be considered sugar daddy because he's gonna be like, okay, obviously you're not wifey material, and I'm not here to settle. I'm just here to continue my life the way I want it. So for me, knowing I have all the money and I can afford it, having some companionship, I don't mind paying for it. So I'm not saying it's a good thing, but just to answer the question, not all sugar daddies are in bad faith, like in the sense of like they don't take care of like whether their body, their mental, when it comes to.
So you can be physical fit and be a sugar daddy. But as Jeff said, what about mental fitness?
Yeah, so there's a lack of mental fitness because when you talk, let's say you talk about him, he's literally living like a 22-year-old, always going clubbing,
Yeah.
turning up, showing off on Snapchat, like a lot of gluttony, flexing his material, the women he's with, the beaches.
And a lot of people young men aspire to be like this guy.
Because it's a status.
I think that's
It's
haram.
status.
That's haram. That's
It's
for-
haram because
that's forbidden,
It's
because
all
that-
about status. Like
Yeah.
Jeffree Star said, Jeffree Star, he's like one of the makeup artists. Like he's a man, but disguise himself as a woman. To a certain point, he's like, yes, I was at a time where I want to flex on my Lamborghinis, my custom houses, like how much fuck you money I got. This guy has so much money, it's disgusting. But he got to a point where he was like, I'm done showing off my status. I no longer have anything to prove to people. Now I want to live my peace. There's a certain time, there's a shelf life to your status that you're going to flex on. How long are you going to flex on your status? 10, 15 years? Are you going to do it for the next 30 years? No, because you've already proved your point. You already proved your status. So you're already somewhere else mentally. Like Bill Gates. Look at Bill Gates. This guy has disgusting money. Do you see him flex on anything? No,
yeah,
this guy,
but Bill Gates is a bad example. He's physically unfit.
he's physically unfit, and yet he's still alive.
But he's not a G.
He's not a G, but he's
Like-
still running it.
But that's
Nah,
that's
nah,
the
nah.
thing
He-
here.
he's a cuck.
Look, you can say all that. That's totally fine, but that doesn't dismiss the fact he has more money than you. I'm not shaming you, but he owns most of the farms in the
That's
states.
good.
But you know what I'm saying? Like he probably doesn't fit the
Yeah,
makeup that
but
we're
the
talking
thing,
about.
the thing is, if me and him get into a ring, I'm gonna fuck him up.
But he never would go to a ring with
But
you.
that's
He would just hire someone
But
to kill you.
but that's the thing. Like if me and Andrew Tate get into a ring,
You're done.
I'm done.
You're
That's,
done.
that's why I say, yo, that's a G.
And Andrew Tate, he's 6'3", yeah? He's
yeah,
not a
yeah,
small
yeah.
king.
No, that's why he's a G. That's why, like, yo, I don't care about Elon Musk. I don't care about the Steve Jobs.
You care about Oprah.
I don't care about Oprah. I don't,
the
I,
fuck,
I,
bro?
I don't care about Bill Gates.
Yo, he has money too.
I don't
Yeah,
care
obviously.
about Bezos, you know, because these guys are not fit. Like, if you're not fit, you're nothing in my eyes. I don't respect that. Like, if you have all the money in the world, you should be fit.
Right.
That
Right.
for me, it's like that's a no contest. Like, you have no excuses. People can't be fit if they don't have the time, but you can make the time. You can not work for the rest of your life. You know, you can sacrifice 2 years, go to a fight camp.
Right.
If I was 1/4 of like any of these guys' wealth, I'm spending 2 years in Thailand. You're gonna see me come back with Thai tattoos and everything, 6-pack. I'm like, I might be bald.
He
I
might have
be-
some boobs after that.
I might
because he's
have
gonna become
like
a woman.
Yeah, exactly. I might have gray hair. I might whatever, but I'm gonna have like Thai tattoos, whatever, and you're gonna see me like ripped, you know, because that's just how I think. If you have that kind of time and resources, you need to dedicate yourself to fitness, to fitness physically and mentally. Like, I don't understand these people who concentrate, they go full in, all out, balls to the wall, only money. I'm like, yeah, but that's only part of it. You can't do that. That's like when you make a character, when you play a video game, you max out money. And the rest of your stats are 0. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Why,
so-
why would you do that?
Yeah. So what's the point of being a millionaire at 4 years old and you're like type 2 diabetic and
Yeah.
you have like
You're disgusting.
you can barely like walk or climb steps without like puking. So
There can be many reasons, like sometimes, yes, going to the gym, staying healthy mentally and physically is very important, but let's not forget and dismiss that there's genetics that comes in also. Like, let's say you go to the hospital and you ask them to do a DNA test and see what are my risk factors eventually and that are inevitable, they're going to tell you what are your risk factors. I haven't done mine, but I feel like one of the risk factors would be in mine would be heart problems. And that is something I'm trying to focus on because it's hereditary. It's inevitable.
There's a movie that talked about that.
So you know what I'm saying? But coming back to your point, I would find it so useless to say like you have 100 mil, but you're fucking sick, you're about to die, you probably have, God forbid, stage 3, stage 4 cancer.
But
at this point, your money
But
is
but Nikki, there's a movie that talk about it. I would invite you to watch it. It's about genetics, like you say. They test people before they're born, see what they're capable of. It's called Gattaca.
Okay.
I think you should watch it. It's exactly what you're saying, but the guy, he proved them wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
But it's still
He
a
was. They said
movie,
he was
like,
gonna
but-
die when he's like 30. Well, like it was the worst thing. Like that, they said, "Oh, this guy, you're a loser." Basically, they test you genetically when you're born,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be a loser.
Yeah.
He fucking
Yeah, here's
break,
the thing.
If you
break the
accept
mold.
your fate like that, your brain is already determined that, okay, since you're accepting your fate that you're going to be like that, that's how you're going to become. But
Yeah.
if you're like, no, I don't agree and I don't
Yeah.
accept, there's nothing wrong with me. We spoke about that. You're your own placebo. You can heal yourself if you know how to do it right.
But
Yeah.
you know, like technically, if I go to the doctor right now, they say I'm sick.
Yeah, because they're trying to get their commission with the prescription. That's it. That's why.
They say I'm type 2 diabetic. They say I should go on insulin. I haven't taken insulin for 2 years.
That's a real story, or it's like a hypothetical.
No, this is real.
You haven't taken insulin in 2 years.
Nah, man.
How you feeling?
Wow.
I don't give a shit.
I like that. I don't give a fuck.
I will fight you.
Do you want some cake?
That's samurai spirit right there.
Samurai spirit. Exactly. Like when I went to see John Wick the other day, there's a quote that he said in the movie. He's like, "Those who cling to life die. Those who cling to death live." So if you're a coward, you're gonna die. If you're a warrior, you take lives, you're gonna live.
Oh, definitely. If I see a gun, I'm running. I'm not gonna fight that. Like, I ain't finna die. Like, fuck that. You do you. But if I see a gun, peace. I'm running. I'm running 100 meters.
So I'm just saying. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's about right. You know.
But I believe you on that. Like, I know that, you know, I don't want to digress, but this is where we go back into spirituality and if God exists, because some people, you know, like they said, you're terminal, you have stage 4 cancer, you're done. But these people are like, no, everything's gonna be fine. I don't believe it. Like, and they say, let's say they say they only have 2 months to live. These people are like, I don't have 2 months. Like, these people are crazy. But the more you believe that there's nothing wrong with you, nothing's gonna happen. Like, these people kept on living
but
after the 2 months.
the thing is, I don't believe there's nothing wrong. I probably know there is probably something wrong. I just don't care. I'd rather die than see my brother, who is, they say he was type 2 diabetic, taking insulin, getting worse and worse and worse. Now he's on dialysis 3 times a week. And he needs a kidney transplant. His eyes are going away. He had an eye surgery, had all this crazy stuff. I'm like, nah, man. For me, kill me. Just do it. I'm ready to go.
Well, look, we don't want you dead now. You know, we just started the podcast, so like, slow your roll, okay?
It's all good. You guys can get a replacement. Chinese people or like
Shut the fuck up, man.
that we're
For us to find
overpopulated.
someone like you, it's gonna take it's gonna take an audition period, bro.
No, don't worry about it.
All right, all right.
There's 1.4 billion Chinese people. You can find another guy.
They're gonna be like, wait for the CCP.
Exactly.
We
Don't
do
worry
have a
about it.
special Chinese right over here, so we want to keep you
Well,
for
he's
now.
not Chinese. He's Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, but I guess
That's just technicality.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
laugh.
technicality. So, but coming back to what you're saying, that if genetically you have this problem, or they say that okay, you're gonna probably develop this disease at the age of 30, whatever, those are actual studies, and they were true back then. But new studies have emerged, and this has been had been talked about multiple times. Obviously, you're not gonna find this on mainstream media, but apparently, genetic factors are not as strong as environmental factors. And we've seen it over and over and over. Like you're telling, a lot of people were told that you're gonna die in 2 months. You have cancer, you have this, you have that, and they didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was true. They did not believe it. They refused to live under that fear, under that paradigm. They knew how to switch their paradigm to abundance and to positivity and to do whatever they can do, whatever in whatever time they think they have left
Because they rewired
to get the
their
best
brain.
out of it. Yes. So I'm not gonna get too deep into this because I'm not an expert on that in that field. But like I said, there are new emerging studies proving that obesity is not genetic, even though people still believe it is. It's not. But if you are basically the
We're gonna get
product.
canceled.
No, I'm not getting into it.
Well, no. I totally agree with you. Obesity cannot be genetic because they say like, oh yeah, well, obesity is genetic in the U.S. 70% of people are like overweight, whatever.
That's enabling someone.
But that's enabling because you think about it, there's no obesity in Africa. This what the hell?
Barely. They don't even have obesity. They
They-
barely have food.
They barely have food. It's like you stop shoving donuts in your mouth.
Exactly. So that's
that's
basically
basically
calorie
it.
deficit we call it.
Yeah.
And when what
You shove
Yeah,
it.
no, it's true. You're right.
that's
You're
calorie
absolutely right.
deficit. Like
Yeah.
basically eat less than your body burns, and you're
Take a walk.
scientifically going to lose weight.
And I agree. I agree with what you said. I've seen many videos of obese people around 300 pounds starting at the gym on a treadmill, showing their efforts after 2 years of like strong discipline. They literally look like Rudy.
You have to look at David Goggins.
Yeah, David Goggins. I've read his book and I was listening to one of his podcasts with Joe Rogan. Now,
Look at David Goggins.
David Goggins is not the average human being, and
But
if you're an
he's
average,
crazy though.
This
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
he's a special case.
no,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not a special case. He was overweight.
Yeah, but he's still a special case regardless about like his mentality because he came before Andrew Tate, but he never got the same clout.
No, he wasn't the same. He wasn't the same as Andrew
But the
Tate.
thing is, yo, you have to look. Imagine you're fat, you're overweight, you're uneducated, and
Can't
you're
relate.
stuttering. You're
But-
stuttering. You can barely speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 months before, you have to say. He says, "I'm gonna go join the Navy SEALs." The Navy SEALs is one of the hardest thing a human being can do.
Right?
And this guy is 270 pounds, whatever, how fat he is.
Yeah.
Like yeah, fat motherfucker. Like not a little bit chubby like me or like
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Fat motherfucker.
like this guy. You see him, you're like, yo, he's gonna roll and die. And to be a Navy SEAL, it's probably harder to be a Navy SEAL than to be a professional like soccer player. That's how crazy to be a Navy SEAL is. Because you have to do this thing called like Hell Week. You have to stay awake for like 2 weeks and train.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
that's like insane.
You
This
literally
guy-
like sleep for like 2-3 hours,
Yeah.
and then they throw
Yeah.
cold
So, like,
water on you
intense
to wake
boot
you up.
camp.
but this
Oh
guy
no,
lost.
it's much more
That's much more crazy.
chaotic than that, bro.
This,
Like
this dude lose, I don't know how much he lost, like 100 pounds or like 120 pounds in 2 months.
I think he was refused the entry first time, but second
Yeah.
time he went to lose. Like he had this. The thing is, he lived a very shitty life.
Yeah.
His father was probably one of the worst human beings the way he describes him,
Yeah.
and the way he abused his mother, and I think he pulled a gun on his mom. He used to be an alcoholic.
He used to be a murderer or something.
David Goggins came like when he was in the States. He was literally walking down the street with his friend when a trucker just pulled up. I don't know, for no reason, came down of his truck and just pulled a gun on David Goggins' head, and he was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
That's why.
Yeah. So getting back to the story,
Yeah.
that's he lived a very shitty childhood,
Yeah.
and that's also something. There's something related to living a shitty childhood and having that that determination to do something great and achieving something great.
Yeah.
And David Goggins has one of the best stories of all time of how he lost over 100 pounds to
In
join
like
the
a
Navy SEALs.
Short amount of time.
Yes, in a very short amount of time. And the way the thing is, his mental capacity, like his thickness of skin that he had is outstanding. I've never read anybody's story that was as crazy as David Goggins. And the way he was just going through that hell week, that guy was literally singing and mocking the instructor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you think like Andrew Tate is the top G, I think David Goggins will whoop his ass.
Yeah, nobody can probably get to David Goggins' mental capacity. This guy is a human machine.
Yeah.
This guy has been running miles, like 20, 30 miles for 10 years
Yeah, he does
with
marathons,
shitty knees.
yeah.
He had shitty knees. He has pain in his knees every time he runs, and he still do it because he is past that mental muscle, pain thing, So that's something you learn in the gym.
But he's a madman, though.
I'm a bit on
Yes.
the fence with the fact that he lost too much weight too quickly for the only reason, that's just my speculation, because you guys know Liver King.
What about Liver King?
You know, he's like, oh, I'm natty. I don't do this. I don't do that. Once the scandal got exposed, no one actually talks about him at this point. Okay, you got rich, but you're full of shit.
But whoever believed like Liver King wasn't natty in the first place is just like
no,
delusional.
I get you. I'm just saying hypothetically. Imagine we're believing this whole story about David Goggin, and next thing you know, something comes up, and they're like, bro,
I
you're a
doubt. I
fraud.
doubt it. Cause like real.
We don't know.
No. Real recognize real.
We don't know.
No,
that.
no. I seen him talk.
Hey, I've seen
We-
it talk,
that
No,
doesn't
talk
mean
too.
no. When I first time I saw Liver King, I'm like, that's bullshit.
No, Liver King is a whole different story. This
Yeah.
guy is living off
Yeah.
of like his juiced up physique and
Yeah.
eating raw liver, which
'Cause
is
me
a
and
whole
Rudy
different
were
story.
talking about it before he was exposed. I was like, yo, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
I remember even 2 years ago, we were talking about, yo, this guy's full
Yeah.
of shit,
Yeah.
full of shit. And then when he got exposed, we were like, yo, high five, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
We're like, yo, high five, he's full of shit.
and what amazes me is the people that were like crying in the comments. Oh, I thought he was like,
Yeah,
I thought,
me and him
bro,
were
how
laughing.
how on earth does somebody looks like that and is natty? Oh, he's
I
eating
know.
liver. Come
I
on,
know.
guys.
Yeah, fuck off.
Come on. So
yeah.
so something we can all agree on. You are the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
So, and that is a true statement in terms of genetics and obesity are not the same as your environment and obesity.
Yeah.
Okay.
David Goggins is like not our messiah, but pretty much.
David
Damn, you're
Goggins.
fanboying.
David.
No, I'm not a fanboy. I'm just saying like he is real.
Well, I don't see him as a messiah because I just barely heard of him like a year ago. So for me, it's just like, whatever. He's just part of another fit. Like, he has his own journey too, but I don't know. Like, I guess
So
everyone.
I guess
David
it's to be
Goggins-
continue.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess we'll keep David Goggins if he's a good role model for next time.